Primetime.
What time is it? Showtime Primetime.
It's XL Primetime, featuring Joe C.
I reduced my toilet paper down to 3 squares.
Matt Hayes.
Big asses and big thighs, yeah.
And Leon Searcy.
Bringing you love, peace, and soul.
Well, that's a great way to start off a Friday. So, it is XLP. I'm Matt Hayes. We have the all-pro offensive tackle, Leon Searcy. We got our coach, Dave Campo. We've got our quarterback, Cleo Lemon. We are going to talk some ball today. Joe C. doing his PGA Tour work. We got you for the next 2 hours. Talk a little Jags, talk some college football. There's some rule changes in college football that are very strange, to say the least. But at the top of today, we're going to circle back real quick to what we were talking about yesterday when there was a little cat fight among the media members, Jordan Schultz and Ian Rappaport, about Matthew Stafford and if Matthew Stafford was going to leave the Rams or go to the Raiders or go somewhere else, and he's got a couple years left, and how much is it going to cost, and should you make the move? And I started to think, well, now that he's returned to the Rams for a 2-year deal, we don't know yet what it's going to be worth. Leon said you saw somewhere maybe 50 mil, 45, 50 mil per. You know,
I think JJ said that.
Was it JJ?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, that's just me. There's nothing official.
That's just
not
the
even
idea.
years.
Right.
Yeah.
That's the idea. Okay. Let's just say that. So I start thinking, Matthew Stafford. You got him for 2 years. The next 2 years, who are you taking, Matthew Stafford or Trevor Lawrence for this franchise? This franchise. All right. So we're going to start off the show today talking about that. We'll get into other things, but I want to talk about that because I think it's very interesting to see not only the opinions of our group, because you guys are all football guys. I think it's also to hear the opinions from our listeners as well. 641-1010, brought to you on the text line, brought to you by our good friends at Lifetime Enclosure. So you guys get involved doing that, okay? Because I look at this thing. You look at Matthew Stafford, Dave Campo, Cleo, Leon, you're talking about an elite quarterback. You're talking about a top 10, 12 quarterback. Now, are we at the point where we were a couple years ago when we were kind of half joking around about Aaron Rodgers or Trevor Lawrence? But we're also at the point right now where we're 4 years into Trevor Lawrence. We see what he is. Now, I've been the guy, you guys make fun of me because you say I protect him too much.
Coddle.
Yes, whatever word you want to use. I don't think he's been used properly, okay? But if you're 4 years into this thing and you think this guy might not get any better, think about that. At that point, if you could have one of the top 10, 12 quarterbacks in the NFL for the next 2 years, or this cat here, Trevor Lawrence, what would you do? I know what I would do. You guys are going to continue to say that I'm coddling, but I want to see what your thoughts are. Leon, starting from the top.
What would I do if we had a choice between Trevor Lawrence and Matthew Stafford here in Jacksonville?
Right.
Talking about a proven commodity, an elite quarterback. I would be Trevor Lawrence's Uber driver to the airport. I would carry his luggage on the plane.
Bro, that's cold.
Boy, I'm just being honest.
It like it is.
I'm just being honest, bro. You're talking about Matthew Stafford here. You're talking about an elite quarterback.
Hall of Famer
who's got a Super Bowl ring, who's a proven commodity, no question marks at all. He wins football games. The Rams, they mortgaged their draft picks to exchange
2 first-rounders.
Two first-rounders for Matthew Stafford. How did that work out for him?
To exchange quarterbacks.
How did that work out for him? Pretty good, huh? Won a Super Bowl. Absolutely.
And not only they get a soup, they got playoffs too.
Yes. Yeah.
Multiple playoffs.
So listen, I'm not trying to slight Trevor. I'm just being frank. This organization, this franchise needs a winner. They need something to feel good about. And if Matthew Stafford was the guy that could come here and take us to the promised land, absolutely I would.
Okay, so I'm going to give you my thoughts because I think I'm going to be the lone ranger here, all right? I would stay with Trevor Lawrence, and I'll tell you why. Because I think we've seen Matthew Stafford in Trevor Lawrence for that half season in 2022. When it all looked like it worked right, they were protecting him. He had weapons out there, and they could run the ball. All right, and the offensive line played better than it ever has in the 4 seasons under him. And then I'm also buying into the idea of Liam Cohen coming in here and doing a Baker Mayfield-type resurgence with Trevor Lawrence. If he has that type of impact on the quarterback, and you see Trevor up in the high 30s in touchdown passes, he's going to be playing at a Matthew Stafford level. He's going to be playing at that level. So I guess for me, I would say I'm sticking with Trevor Lawrence because I think, and I hate to use this word, Dave, I hope.
That's not an
Because
answer.
hope is not a plan.
It's not a plan.
But I hope that Liam Cohen is that type of impact on him.
Yeah, you're not the only one. I'm going to disagree a little bit with my best friend, Leon.
You wouldn't
Searcy.
take his bags to the terminal, is what you're saying, huh?
You know what? I've bought into the youth movement here, and I can't wait to hear Cleo. When it really comes down to it, because again, I'll tell you who we should start at strong safety, but quarterback, that's a little different animal.
But you've dealt with. I mean, you were a former NFL head coach. You dealt with a very significant quarterback situation where you were forced into something you didn't want to do.
Yeah, give me Trevor Lawrence, and I'll still be coaching the Cowboys, in my opinion. If I had him with some deficiencies,
right?
But it comes down to, like you said, can they unlock the positives? And my thing is, I think the guy, if Liam gets him to just take control and gives him some options, and the options to me are run the football and take a little pressure off him right now. That kid has got a lot of talent. So to me, I think you go with the development at this point. Because, I've been where we took a guy and gave up 2 first rounds and the guy blew a knee in the first game.
Right.
I don't think you can take that chance. I really don't. And again, that's just me.
All right, so Cleo, I kind of asked this question earlier this week, and you're the perfect person to ask this now. I spoke, when we started off the show about the end of 2022, that little run, that 7-game run where he had 14 touchdowns and 1 turnover. And we all know he has 68 turnovers in 60 career games. So the question was, is that the outlier? Is that little run the outlier, and he is who he is outside of that? Or have they really failed miserably, this franchise, in setting him up to be successful?
I think that's the question, right? And when you ask me this question, I got to take it into context. Like, who am I making this decision? Am I Doug Peterson and Trent Baalke? Because if I'm them two, I'm taking Matthew Stafford, right? Because I'm
trying to win right away.
Yeah, because I'm trying to save my job.
Right.
So I'm taking Matthew Stafford if I'm those two. Now, if I'm Liam Cohen and James Gladstone, I'm rolling with the young guy,
right?
Because that's how I ended up in this room. So that it really depends on who I am making that decision. If I'm the new guys, I got to roll with the young guy, right? So I'm going to roll with, Trevor. But if I'm Doug Peterson and I'm on a hot seat and I'm, about to get canned, I'm going with the proven commodity. So that's how I look at it. But I think Trevor is a talented player, and I think he has a lot left to reach, a lot of potential left to reach.
It's interesting that Cleo says that, Leon, because like if you are Liam Cohen, the coach, you're Grant Udinsky, the coach, and all things being equal, you have a choice between those two. It's not even a question, right? I mean, don't you take Matthew Stafford?
Yeah, but how many years do I have?
That's the issue.
Yeah. So
because
my opinion is not his talent. It's okay. I got this last contract. You know what? I don't want to play these 2 years out. I finished up. You finish up next year. He might say, I want to retire.
Right.
Now you back at ground zero.
Right.
So I think that's where you have to really put it. It's not on a talent perspective. It's just if he wants to continue to play. He's had a great career.
So you're really bouncing, Leon, and Dave and Cleo. You're really bouncing. This isn't going to happen. So this is all hypothetical. The idea of, all right, what if we can win big for 2 years? Big being go deep in the playoffs, maybe even get to the Super Bowl, right? Mm-hmm. Or what if we can develop this cat into something really unique, being Trevor Lawrence? So it's like, what are you betting on? Are you betting on what you know could happen because the guy's a stud? The guy's a Hall of Famer. right? Probably a first-time Hall of Fame, first shot, right?
Yeah, he'd probably be first by the
Right.
Hall of Fame. Yeah.
So, or the idea that you think, no, I think we can make this guy different, Trevor Lawrence. And I fall on the latter of that, not the former with Stafford.
Here's what's interesting to me: how when you choose Trevor Lawrence as moving forward, that somehow we could develop him. And I reference this to he's played 4 rounds of golf, and all you've seen is one good back nine. We've seen more bad Trevor than good Trevor.
I mean, frankly, a lot more bad.
So that's what I'm saying. Right. So you it's not just one room in the house you got to clean. You got to clean the house. You got to clean the whole house.
Right.
You're talking.
Some stank all over.
Yeah. You're talking. You acting like Trevor. The only stink he got is in the closet. No, it's a lot of stank in that house. All right. Because I mean,
it's got to be remediated. What you tell me, right?
You mean there's 3 bathrooms instead of 2?
Exactly. You're referencing like you're referencing Trevor Lawrence like it's like easy cleanup. You just said it. In 60 games, what was he? How many?
68 turnovers.
He's got 68 turnovers in 60 games. All right. We saw him play successful in 2022 in the back end of 2020. We haven't seen that Trevor since. He's been inconsistent. He said, now, don't get me wrong, breakdowns in protection. Offensive line has a lot to do with his unwarranted lack of success because they haven't had protection. But turnovers, completion rate is down, QBR is down, games lost, fumbles, interceptions. So, I mean, y'all, this is no...
That's not good, that list you just went over.
I'm just saying, this is not an easy cleanup. You're saying, like, Liam is going to come in here. You're saying Liam just has a dust job to do. No. He's got a whole renovation, bro.
Yeah.
He's got a lot to fix.
He's got to knock it down to the studs, basically.
Now what he said coming in initially was just right. He said it starts up front. You listen, ask Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes is one of the all-time great quarterbacks. In that Super Bowl, if he ain't got no protection, he can't do nothing. So Liam understands that too. Trevor has a lot to do with the protection. Listen, you give a quarterback an offensive line and a run game, things change.
Right.
You give them those two, things change. And that's what I'm hoping that they're going to do while they come in.
Here's my whole
Hang
thing.
on real quick. We got to go to a break, so we'll say that.
All right.
We got 2 hours to get into this. We're going to get into this some more, but I definitely want to get into this because I think it leads to the idea of how do you fix him. And I know we've talked about this a lot, and I definitely want to get into it with Cleo because Cleo being a former quarterback can understand it as well. We've got to figure out a way to allow him to become more than he is now. Because honestly, if you're talking about what he has seen nationally as compared to here he's seen as a guy, oh yeah, he can be it. He can be this rare guy. Nationally, people have already given up on him.
Right.
He's a bust nationally for a lot of people. Mm-hmm. So we're going to get into that on the other side. Come on back. It's XLP.
For many, it's the happiest place on earth.
At 17 in Players Championship.
Get live Southeast Orthopedic Specialist leaderboard updates.
Covered by Universal Roof and Contracting.
Cool Cats Heating and Cooling.
And Beaver Toyota.
On 1010XL.
Joe C. for Hard Rock Bet. Football season may be over, but there's plenty of action everywhere else. Not sure what to bet on? Check out the Discover page at Hard Rock Bet. You can download the app or head to hardrock.bet. College basketball, we're closing in on the biggest tournament of the year. Don't go in blind. Bet on the action today. Hard Rock Bet. Download the app. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about gambling? Call 1-888-ADMIT-IT.
I'm Chris Campione. Auto accidents can leave you feeling lost and overwhelmed. But at Campione Law, we're here to guide you with a personal touch through every step of the process. We don't get paid unless you get paid. CampioneLaw.com.
Count on Campione. Campione Law.
Staying Alive, one night of the Bee Gees, a tribute like you've never seen before. Experience the songs and sights of a full Bee Gees playlist performed live. March 6th at Jack Center for the Performing Arts. Tickets at fscjartistseries.org.
Plumbing problem? Septic emergency? HVAC system not doing its job? Don't panic. Call the pros at Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic and Air Conditioning. From leaks, clogged drains to septic installations and air conditioning repairs, we've got the tools and expertise to get it done right. Dial 904-862-6769 now and let our friendly team handle the dirty work so you don't have to. Remember, when you're stuck, call the Duck.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, your favorite drafts are poured at a frosty 29 degrees, and rare barrel-aged whiskeys are served just the way you want them. It's bigger game days and bolder fight nights. I mean, where else can you find a scratch kitchen that always comes in clutch every day from lunch to late night? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Hit a home run for happy hour and ask your Twin Peaks girl about local specials on drafts, cocktails, shots, and more.
Mia here. You want to know what I'm so over? Resolutions. You want to know what I am into? The revolution, hitting the road in a new Toyota from Arlington Toyota. So what do you say? Join the Arlington Toyota revolution and save big with financing as low as 0% on select new models. Or get up to $8,500 off select new Toyotas. Plus, every new Toyota purchase from Arlington Toyota comes with Arlington's lifetime warranty and 60-day exchange. Shop in person on Atlantic Boulevard, just a quarter mile east of 295, or at arlingtontoyota.com. Visit arlingtontoyota.com/0% for full details.
Dan Hicken and Jeff Prosser share the huddle with Freddie T. Monday morning running back with Fred Taylor is fueled by Epstein and Robbins and Monahan Jewelers.
Fred Taylor, he's a candidate to go the distance.
On 1010XL.
Hi, I'm Mac with Baker Glass. If you've got fogged up windows, let me help. We'll replace them with clear, insulated units that brighten up your home. People say we're fast, friendly, and reliable. Just check out our Google reviews. Call me today. Baker Glass. No one treats you better.
Collisions happen on every play in football. Collisions also happen every day on the road. If you need auto body repair, from a $30 job to a $30,000 job, trust San Jose Collision in Mandarin.
Mia here. Since 1982, Closets by Design has specialized in creating dream spaces for every budget. My designer, Frances, made the process so easy. She came to my house and designed a beautiful walk-in closet that's already so incredibly functional for me and old Beau Valentine. Call today to schedule your free in-home consultation at 1-800-293-3744 or visit closetsbydesign.com. And take advantage of extended savings this month. Get 40% off and another 15% off with 18-month special financing.
At Cannons of Jacksonville, they know that when you're towing anything, you gotta have products you can rely on. With over 50 years of fabrication expertise, the family at Cannons can repair or install precisely what you need to tow with confidence. Whether it's a heavy-duty hitch, trailer frame, gooseneck, tow bar, or any other towing accessory, Cannons will provide you with unmatched precision and durability. For all your towing needs, visit cannonsofjacks.com, where quality and customer satisfaction collide.
Hey folks, Hicken here for Zero Res, and if you still have a little bit of time for the hottest price of the year on carpet cleaning, maybe you had people over for the game or you're doing early spring cleaning, but in February, only $147 for 3 rooms, plus the 4th room is free. That's right, schedule now and you'll get 3 rooms for $147, and the 4th room is free. Yeah, the 4th room is on me. Hottest price of the year. Zero Res. Spell it forward, spell it backwards. Zero Res. It's the right way to clean.
CEROREZ. Zero Res.
Frank Frangie here for Stanley Pools. If you're dreaming of putting in a pool this year, choosing the right company is the most important decision you'll make. I've trusted Stanley Pools to build my pool, renovate my pool, and maintain my pool. Stanley Pools has been the best in the business since 1988, and they're still family-owned. Call them today at 904-269-7277 or find them online at StanleyPoolsFL.com. That's Stanley Pools, a family tradition of fine swimming pools.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. This is XL Primetime. Brought to you by Florida Home AC. Now that's cool. On 1010XL.
We've got an interesting little conversation
It's
off the air.
unbelievable. The question is unbelievable.
As we roll back in on second segment here of XLP, Joe C is off doing PGA Tour duty. We've got Leon. We've got Coach Campo. We've got a quarterback, Cleo Lemon. So we started this program off with the idea of Stafford or Trevor Lawrence. Yeah, you got 2 years out of Stafford. Are you taking 2 years of Stafford or what you hope you can get with a future with Trevor Lawrence? And at the end of the segment, you said you wanted to ask something, but then we got into what we were talking about off the air, which at some point in my career here at 1010XL, I'm going to convince Steve Griffin to charge people to listen to us off the air because it's phenomenal. I said, where do you think he is among the top 32 quarterbacks, and you said 15. And me, Leon, and Cleo were like, I don't know about that. So then we went team by team, and Trevor Lawrence finished 15.
Yeah.
Right? He was literally at 15. Now, that's what we think.
Yeah.
Now, if you get out of our little bubble here on the First Coast and you ask somebody in L.A. where they think Trevor Lawrence is, he's probably 22, 24, somewhere around there. That would be my guess.
Yeah.
And like we automatically said, oh, we take him over Tua, we take him over. You know,
well, that's my
right.
point. That's what I was just.
Other people are like, are you out of your mind?
Yeah. Well, here's the thing, and again, I may be wrong too. All I'm saying is there was a number of pushes in there.
There was probably 7 or 8
people
pushes.
would say
right.
is better than he is.
Yes.
That's just my opinion because I've lived it. As I said in the break, I had a choice my last year, and what Cleo said, I agree with 100% because my last year, I would have taken any veteran quarterback over Quincy Carter.
Right.
Okay. And not that Quincy's bad. I'm not even saying Quincy's that bad. I'm just saying I would have taken Tony Banks, who we had on the club, because I'd seen him win 8 and 9 games. And that would have kept my job. Well, of course, I was forced to take Quincy.
Because he was drafted with the second round pick, right?
Yep,
yeah.
second.
Yeah.
And I was forced to take Quincy. And
Hi, Jerry.
Yeah, I'm out. Yeah. And I'm out. So I guess my point is, but I also said that I agree with Leon in that, what you see is what you get. But I also, as I said just before the end of the last conversation, Joey Galloway came in with 2 first-round picks this year's and next year's and blew his knee in the first game.
Yep.
So there's no guarantee. I kind of like the longevity factor of Trevor from the standpoint that, I want to be here for 5 years.
That's the conservative way to look at it.
Exactly.
Whereas Leon is rolling the dice. And
absolutely.
And I see, I like the way Leon's thinking, actually. I wouldn't do it. I would stick with Trevor. But I like the fact that Leon's thinking, wait a second. Super Bowls aren't guaranteed. Playoffs aren't guaranteed.
That's
Even
right.
if you stick with that guy, it's not guaranteed. But what you have is a better chance with a guy like Matthew Stafford than you would with the guy you got.
See, we're under the impression that we've got all this time. Time waits for no one, and you got to strike. You got to strike the iron when it's hot. If you bring in a guy like Matthew Stafford, a proven commodity, I keep saying that, a guy who's going to be a first ballot Hall of Fame, he automatically upgrades your offense. So he makes the normal guys on your team better. I mean, he just does. And his accuracy, his poise in the pocket, you give him an offensive line and a running game. I mean, Matthew Stafford, listen, in our division, you tell me any defense that we will go up against that would get Matthew Stafford. The Titans, the Texans, or the Colts, come on, bro.
You also have to take into consideration, how about what the Colts have done for bring in Rivers, bring in
hasn't worked. Everything they've done.
Right. You're trying to do the same thing we're talking about here.
That's
now, none of them,
Stafford,
including AR.
Stafford is still there. I mean, I agree with that, but you're rolling the dice. What was the other guy?
Didn't have
for the Atlanta Falcons.
Who they have? The coach brought in the coach.
The head coach. The quarterback
Coach
for the
brought
Falcons.
Well, Minshew and Rivers and
Rivers, yeah.
Rivers,
Yeah.
and then was the
Oh yeah, they brought in
I'm losing my mind.
24
Matt
to 3.
Ryan.
Yeah, Matt Ryan.
So in essence, if you said
I
to
left you
me,
hanging there, man.
if
Sorry.
I had to keep my job, if I had to keep my job, and you said I could get Matt Ryan, I'd probably take him.
But let me say this to you, and Cleo, I want you to talk about this too, because you have played the position. So in a perfect world, you get a quarterback for how many years? 15? I mean, in a perfect world, a quarterback will last 15 years in the NFL, right?
That's a lot.
That's a lot, right? I mean, Matthew Stafford's 37. He's been in the league for 15 years.
Yeah.
Right? So that's perfect. He's going to the Hall of Fame. All right? Trevor Lawrence isn't even at that level, not even close. Okay? You've already lost at least a third of his career. It's already gone. A third. That's what I keep looking at. I keep trying to stress this to everybody. They've already wasted a third of his career. So Now I say this to you, Cleo. When you're already, if you're Trevor and you're looking at this like, man, a third of my career is gone.
Right.
I've been beaten up the last 2 years, and he has been beaten up the last 2 years. Like, at what point do you go to management and say, look, this has to be about the offensive line? And has he already done that? And is that why Liam Cohen and James Gladstone both said, look, it is about the offensive line now?
Right. And I think now you see what Leon was just saying. You think you have all this time.
Right.
So now Leon is talking about the quarterback. Now the quarterback is talking about the offensive line and every other piece around him. So now he's like, look, we can't wait any longer. If we're going to get a big-time free agent, we got to spend the money. If it's at a guard position, a tackle position, whatever it might be, or it might be at a receiver or running back position, right?
Right.
We're going to have to strike right now. That's what Trevor's saying right now. The heat is on me. You know, the general manager's gone that selected me. The coach is gone. Now it's squarely on me. I have to strike now. My career has to jumpstart now. So he's in that office having those conversations, asking for that type of help.
That's actually a great point when he is made there, Leon. Hang on real quick. Because I want you to answer this.
All right, I got you.
The general manager who drafted him is now gone.
Mm-hmm.
The coach who was supposed to fix him from the previous coach who drafted him is gone. So now he's gone through 2 coaches and a general manager.
Mm-hmm.
He's still the guy that has 68 turnovers in 60 games.
Yeah.
So to Cleo's point, and I think he's exactly right, I want you both to talk about this.
Yep.
It's on him now.
Yep.
Now it's on him.
And that's what I would say if Trevor came in my office as general manager. I mean, you're in no position to tell me what to do as far as moving pieces. You play better, we'll get the pieces around you. I mean, Trevor hasn't done anything to walk in there and say, "Hey, give me a guard, give me this, give me that." You play better. We'll set the table. You just make sure you eat.
But I think the contract says he can.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, the contract does say that.
Actually, yeah.
That is. But he still got to play better. We gave you this bread.
Yeah.
And
you hate quarterbacks.
I love them. I'm a lineman. I hate quarterbacks. I spent all my career protected them. How the hell I hate quarterbacks?
I just get the hate quarterback.
No, I don't hate
quarterbacks.
quarterbacks. I want quarterbacks to be held to the same standard that everybody else is.
That's a little hate, right?
No, they don't get hit in practice, so we don't get hit. in practice.
It ain't about getting hit in practice. It's just that everybody's held to a standard. But when it comes to the quarterback, it's like, well, he doesn't have this receiver, he doesn't have the protection, he don't have the run game.
Yeah,
you know what? I can't wait for them to give him everything he needs, so then we don't have to hear this argument anymore. Just give him everything.
And then what if he fails?
Give him then we really know.
Time to go.
Yeah. I mean.
But
I
what
can't disagree with anything he said.
But my point is,
disagree with that either.
My point is they've literally wasted a third of his career already.
They have.
And they haven't got what they should have gotten out of him. They got 7 games out of him.
Right.
7 games of a potential, I don't know how many games, 4 times whatever, okay?
Yeah, you know what's next,
Well,
right?
you know what that percentage is?
You know what's next, right? Deshaun Watson. That's what's next.
Why would you even say that?
If he doesn't do what we just talked about,
he becomes
it's
Deshaun
Watson. And man, I'll tell you what, that's a kick in the private parts right there.
Well, it's I don't know what the percentage is. I'm gonna figure out during the break because I think it's fascinating. They've basically gotten 7 games out of his career, at the end of 2022. Because if you look, even in 2023 when they were 8-3, he was not playing that well. Because the 3 games they lost were against 3 good teams, and they got just dismantled in those games. So I don't even think he was playing well in 2023. So they really have gotten nothing out of him. And he clearly has talent. We see it when he plays.
Yeah.
You see he'll make a throw, Cleo, and you're like, okay, that's the dude. That's it. That's the guy.
But who is he, though? Because I kind of feel like he still hasn't established his identity as, like, who is he as a quarterback? What's his quarterback personality? Because I see him as a big guy that's athletic, but I don't always see him using those skills that he possesses, right? He can use the inside zone, pull it, and take off for 15, 20. Like, I've seen him do that. He can do that. I've seen him attack the deep ball. I've seen him be efficient and dump it down. But who is he as a quarterback? I think if this year he established his identity as a quarterback, I think you can see the positive moves, and now they can build a team around him and with the necessary pieces he needs.
So one other thing I want to talk to you about, I want to ask all you guys this too after the break. is, and I'm going to start with you right now, Cleo, is he's also not a guy where you're like, okay, I see who he is and what he's about. Like, he doesn't carry himself like you would think a typical quarterback would carry himself, right, Dave? He's not a guy who's going to be a take charge type of guy where he's very vocal, and you see it on game day, and you see it, in the locker room after a win or a loss. I know that's not his personality, but I think at some point that has to become you if you're a quarterback in the NFL, right?
Absolutely. If you look at any other quarterback who's established, you know who they are. You look at Josh Allen in Buffalo, you know who he is.
Especially the high-level guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know exactly his playing style. I still think the jury is out on his identity as an NFL quarterback.
Do you think he's trying to figure it out, or he's not comfortable being that guy, or he just not who he is?
I don't know if they've put him in that position, because I always thought that if they gave him someone other than Press Taylor to call the plays and develop him, I wanted to see that before they let Doug go. I wanted to see someone else in that spot to do something different with him. And I think that would give him, an opportunity to develop in a different way.
Well, I mean, listen, I'm just saying, then why give him the keys to the Ferrari? Let him keep driving the van. They gave him the keys to the Ferrari. They got a contract.
That was bulky all the way.
They gave him the contract.
That was bulky all the way.
If you saying he hasn't figured it out, he's still figuring it out.
What do you think? Do you think he has?
I think he has all kind of upside.
Yeah.
No, I mean like the idea of the quarterback. You know what I mean? To me, he's a guy right now that goes in the field and plays the position.
Yeah, I don't see it. I want the quarterback.
Bro, you remember I told you that Colton Hasbrook had a conversation with me and told me that he didn't see the dog in me that he saw in Miami.
Yeah.
That I needed to fix it.
Yeah.
Someone needs to have that kind of conversation with
right.
Trevor. The Trevor Lawrence that was at Clemson.
Right.
I'm talking about that had wheels.
Right.
That would run, would throw, would fist pump.
Confidence.
He got in people's faces.
Where is that guy?
Opponents.
I know. Where is that guy? Where is he? He's lost. Need to find him. Somebody need to have that conversation with him.
Troy Aikman took a shot as a rookie that I thought might ruin him for life. I mean, and it was a touchdown.
Under the chin, right?
Yeah, he got knocked out.
Yeah.
I mean, he was out, and it eventually hurt him, obviously because he had the concussions and all that. Well, the next time I saw Troy Aikman, you'd have thought he was the best that ever lived. That's who he is.
Right.
And that's really what's a little bit missing right now, which he said.
All right, we need to go to break, but we're going to come back. I want to talk about that. I want to talk about the idea of being the quarterback and what you have to do to become that, or even can you become that? All right, come back on the other side. It's XLP.
Where electrifying moments come to life.
Inside of a minute to play.
And legendary performances live.
A monumental milestone in a legendary career.
1010XL. The power of Jacksonville Sports Radio.
Don't miss the Players' Championship, March 11th through 16th at TPC Sawgrass. This can't-miss event features a variety of activities for every fan to enjoy, from delicious bites to the Sawgrass Splash. There are endless fan enhancements that will make for a memorable experience. Plus, watch the top PGA Tour players, including back-to-back champion Scottie Scheffler, take on the iconic stadium course featuring the famous Island Green. Tickets available at theplayers.com.
This is Dr. George Bari, inviting you to look online at bariorthopedics.com for the latest in medical advancements when it comes to getting you back to full joint health. After studying under Dr. James Andrews, I know proper diagnosis is the first key to treatment, and educating the patient is the fastest path to recovery. Whether it's chronic back pain, nagging arthritis, or necessary joint replacement, we're here to serve you in the best possible way. We are Bari Orthopedics, and online at bariorthopedics.com.
Find out more at bariorthopedics.com. That's BAHRI orthopedics.com.
You don't have to be a football star to get a signing bonus. The team at Republic Services needs your skills, and they're paying up to $5,000 for you to join the roster. You'll be joining a winner. As an essential business, the Republic Services trucks have not stopped rolling with hourly and weekly pay and better benefits and vacation packages than the rest of the league. Driver trainees, $1,000 sign-on bonus. CDL drivers, $3,000. Diesel mechanics, $5,000 bonus. Join the winning team at Republic Services today. Visit republicservices.com.
Equal opportunity employer.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code WEALTH to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code WEALTH for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code WEALTH for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
North Florida is growing with lots of new families joining our community. If you're one of them making the move here, your next move should be a call to American Electrical to create the best home automation system, enhancing your living experience. There are many ways your life can be made easier through smart home technology, voice-activated systems, automated lighting, total house temperature control. With American Electrical, they've got everything you need to automate your home and make it your true oasis. Check out American-Electrical.com. Powered by professionalism and raising the excellence bar.
This date in sports history is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On February 28, 1967, Philadelphia 76ers center Wilt Chamberlain's streak of 35 consecutive field goals ended in a win over the Cincinnati Royals.
Mark Watson here to tell you a little bit about hardballcreative.com. It's your online promo haven with thousands of ideas on how to promote your company. We're open 24/7, 365.
Hardball Creative.
Joe C. for Blossman Gas. They've been providing hometown service and the comforts of propane to home and businesses since 1951. Imagine movie night spent around glowing gas fireplace logs, cookouts in the backyard with your propane grill, or laundry done faster with your gas dryer. Blossman has a wide variety of gas appliances to fit your needs. Propane delivery, gas appliances, and a full-service team. Blossman Gas is your local company for everything propane. Blossman Gas, log on, blossmangas.com, and check out the Blossman difference.
Winter is almost over, and the Epic Florida heat is on its way. You need reliable air conditioning. Epic Cool Heating and Air is here. Take advantage of the Epic Gold membership program and use one of your 2 yearly tests of your entire AC system. You know it's going to be epically hot, so be epically prepared. Plus, no interest financing for 18 months. That's epic. Visit EpicHVACService.com today and trust the experts at Epic Cool Heating and Air to stay epically cool. That's EpicHVACService.com.
This is Daytona, the awe-inspiring spectacle of Supercross, and the most challenging course to witness the air-catching, adrenaline-pumping, heart-pounding action unlike any other race in Florida. Daytona Supercross. The biggest names battle it out under the lights at the World Center of Racing. Don't miss it. The gate drops Saturday, March 1st. Secure your tickets and trackside access today at DaytonaInternationalSpeedway.com.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Hey guys, that's a embarrassment out there. That's a damn embarrassment. We can't block anybody up the now they're hugging the ball early. Junior League. Somebody's got to get their attention, and I'll tell you, Jack, I am tired of being a guy who's got to run down everybody's damn throat all the time. Why don't we have a coach that gets over there and does something about it? Instead, we want to go over and pat everybody on the ass, and they haven't done their job all night. Guys out there off, and nobody says anything about it. We got a head coach that won't say anything about it. We got coaches offensively that won't do anything about it. I mean, enough's enough. I understand. Babysitting's over.
This is XL Primetime. Brought to you by Florida Home AC. Now that's cool on 1010XL.
The babysitting is over. The time for kid gloves is over. Real quick on the text line. We got a lot of people saying they take Matt Stafford over Trevor Lawrence. And that's not a surprise. But a couple guys make a good points. A couple good points here. Well, one guy says, Coach, you can't mention private parts and Deshaun Watson. So can't do that.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
One of our guys here, and he makes just a fantastic point of, guess what? Matthew Stafford's going to have the same offensive line and the same run game and the same receivers if he comes here. So if you're going to fix something, you still got to fix the other stuff around the quarterback. So, I mean, I get all of that. And, again, this is just hypotheticals because it's not going to happen. Trevor Lawrence is your quarterback, and that's it. End of discussion. But we just thought it would be interesting to say, look, you've got a guy who could get you for 2 years, could get you to a rare level with the way he plays. And do you do that? Do you take that instead of the idea of what could be with Trevor? And that, of course, has evolved into what we really wanted to make this show about, at least the first half of the show about, is how do you fix him? And how does Trevor become that, the way Leon says all the time, that dog? Leon, you were talking about it costs to be a dog.
Yeah, I mean, mediocre, it don't cost nothing to be mediocre. In order to be great, you got to spend. I was telling Coach, listen, Coach has coached in the NFL over 20-some years. I played over 10 years. I've seen a lot of talented players come in that locker room. A lot of talented players come in. Know why they went home? Because they didn't spend. They didn't know how to be professional, but they didn't know how to work on their craft. They tried to survive the league on talent alone. It ain't gonna work in the NFL. You're not gonna survive in the NFL on talent alone. You gotta spend. You gotta spend time on your craft day in and day out. There is no middle line. You're either great or you're not.
I'm gonna ask you a tough question right now.
Yeah.
Who was the most talented guy you ever played with that could have been a lot more?
Most talented player I ever played with that could have been more?
If he did what you just said right there. If he spent on his craft.
Bro, I played with some dogs, so I played with some horses.
You didn't play with many guys who didn't.
I ain't played with too many puppies. There was a lot of pits in my locker room.
A lot of guys that were picked in the first round that don't.
Yeah,
that's half of them, right?
They had something. They had some talented guys.
The first round is a clear example, Coach. Sorry about that. First round is a clear example. You can watch this draft right here, right? You can watch who's coming up in April, right?
Yeah.
All these guys that get drafted, right? Very talented. And you'll find out within the next 3 to 4 years who relied on talent and who was a professional by their longevity.
Right.
Now, don't get me wrong. Injury plays a factor.
Yeah.
Injuries play a factor. But I'm saying you'll be able to look at this first round and you'll see guys do this and you'll see guys crash and burn.
And all you got to do is look at the Jaguars' first round pick, their first pick every year, to see that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then I want to piggyback off what you were saying, investing and being a dog. I think the way the NFL is set up, I think competition brings out the best in everyone.
Yeah.
So I think, honestly, right now, you got to put something behind him in that room that can light a fire in him to say, hey, look, if you don't want to be what we're talking about, then this is the next option. Because something has to get him going and pushed in that direction. I think competition is the direct effect to that.
But you said in the last segment, they already gave him I call him I-275. They already gave him 275, so that he's got a sense of comfort because they already paid him to
take it away from him, because they did the same thing with Kirk Cousins, right? They gave him a lot of money, and now they put him on the bench. Now they putting Penix in that spot, and they're going to eat a lot of dead money with him sitting out. Maybe they have to do that. I don't know, but they have to do something.
I don't think they're there yet till one more year.
No.
If this year if they go like 5 and what would that be? That would be 5 and 12.
But I think it's
he
the perfect
struggles
time.
Again,
Though,
then I think they draft a quarterback.
Not even drafting. I think now is the perfect time for the new coach to bring in someone that he can put in that seat. It might be a veteran. It might be someone that can sit there and say, hey, look, we need someone to put some pressure on him.
I think they tried with Mac, actually. I think that was part of the thing with Mac Jones, too.
Until he threw the ball.
Right, I agree with you. I'm just saying I think that was the idea.
That's not a shot.
I think that was the idea. Like, I got to be honest with you. I love Leon's idea of, like, taking Cowart McCord, like, in the 5th round if he falls that low. I don't know if he would. But someone like that, a big, strong kid that's got a big arm, just get him in camp. Let him throw the ball around a little bit. I mean, as a coach, Dave, and you hear coaches say this all the time. Your number one ally as a coach is the bench, but it's so difficult to do that with that position, right?
Yeah, I mean, there's only so many quarterbacks out there. I mean,
it's not even really the money; it's the talent, right?
Correct.
Could you take a Justin Fields and put him there?
Hey, no, but that's one of those where it's a first. That's like he's like Baker Mayfield.
Right. That's
you
what
know,
I'm
in
saying.
other words, that would be a good one. Yeah, because he will put some pressure on.
Right.
There's no question about it. He's talented.
Right. Absolutely.
Now he hasn't gotten to that point, but I think that's a good analogy right there.
Yeah, I think from everything that Liam Cohen and James Gladstone are saying that they're all in on him. They're all in on Trevor Lawrence. They believe he can be real. I'm in that same boat, okay? And I know the guys in text line are killing me right now saying I'm protecting Trevor. I think Trevor can be that player, but if they get through a year and it doesn't change and he's still turning the ball over, and if they draft a guard and if they sign another guard in free agency and if they put pieces around him to help him and he still struggles, there's no doubt you're now at 5 years into this thing, and you've seen X, Y, and Z. You can't expect to have A, B, and C happen if you've seen the rest.
Yeah, but I don't expect Trevor to struggle. If they clean up the offensive line, I don't expect Trevor to struggle. I think that if they give him a guard, if they give him two solid guards, and that the tackle play is elevated, and they somehow are creative with the run game, because we don't have the pieces in place to run the ball the way that Tampa Bay ran the ball. Tampa Bay was more like a power lead counter type of. We're more of a zone concept, athletic. We don't have no furniture movers.
Anton could be. Anton's a big dude.
Yeah, he's a big dude, but we don't have any furniture movers interiorly. If we can get some guys that can move people,
right?
Work the 1 to 3 and get to the mic, and can run between the lines. Trevor gonna be just fine. You give him a run game and a solid offensive line. I don't expect Trevor to struggle if you give him that. You give any quarterback that. You give a quarterback a solid offensive line in a run game, where he can play action.
Yeah.
Oh, he's gonna flourish. I want Trevor. I like good Trevor. I want good Trevor. I don't like mediocre Trevor. I love good Trevor. So if you can put those pieces in place, and I listen, he's gonna flourish if you put those pieces in place.
Right.
Absolutely. Play action, run the ball. Then he can use his talent and his arm strength along with that. I want him to succeed.
So then the whole dog issue then isn't as imperative if you put pieces around him.
You put pieces around him, but you still want him to put in the professional time into his craft. But because I've seen it, and the coach has seen it, and Cleo's seen it, I've seen a lot of talented guys come in and out the league. Talented. I'm talking about big, fast, physical, but they can put the time in.
I saw an interview. I think I said this the other day. If I am, I apologize. I'm repeating, but I saw that.
Sorry, we got different listeners all the time.
Yeah, I saw an interview with Nick Saban, and Nick was talking to his team, and he was relating a high school athlete to Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
Well, when you talk now, you're relating a college player to the pros.
Right.
Okay. He said to his team, the worst enemy you have is your talent. Because you got away with that to get here.
Mm-hmm.
All these guys around you that you're playing against, they're just like you.
Mm-hmm.
If you rely on your talent, you're not going to succeed. Period. So that's what Leon's talking about.
Yeah.
You got to invest in it.
Got to invest.
Do you think?
Absolutely.
Do you think, as an NFL coach watching him play, do you think sometimes he relies on his talent?
Absolutely.
Yep. Bro.
Absolutely.
You said it.
And he doesn't have some things that allow him to do that for sure.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what, when they ask me, well, how do you fix him? First of all, work ethic, whatever it is, that's got to be number one.
Yeah.
Number two is you run the football and take the pressure off him, you will fix him, just like Leon just said. You will fix him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What were you going to say?
No. I was going to say, you got to be, like Coach said, you got to be invested. You got to be invested all in, especially in the offseason. Because, reason why the offseason is probably even more important now than it was when we were coaching, because you got to assimilate toughness now, because you got to assimilate it.
Yeah.
And time. And time. They don't have the same amount of time when you're with everybody.
Yes. You got to assimilate toughness and time, because they've collectively bargained to lessen practices and the time you're on the field. And you can't condition and all that other kind of stuff. We didn't have that. We knew that when we went to training camp, You better come in shape. You don't use training camp because you better come in shape with training camp. And then training camp was brutal because it got your body acclimated to what the season was going to be about.
Right.
Yeah, you can't do that now.
Right.
You absolutely can't do that.
So,
now.
Cleo, we came into this break with the audio from Troy Aikman stomping on the sideline, screaming at the offensive lineman, telling him it's a joke what's going on right now. If you're a quarterback in this league, Troy had 3 rings at that point. If you're a quarterback in this league, it's very difficult to have that kind of the quarterback aura, right? If you've got 68 turnovers in 60 games, right?
I don't think
so. Is that part of the problem? You don't think so?
No, because the locker room is so much younger now. I think everyone in there is young. So, when you step in as a, first, second year player, I think you come in and the expectations are through the roof. Before they would sit you behind a veteran and let you develop. Now the expectation is we need you to play right now.
Right.
So there's no time for you to wait and build confidence. You have to come in here as the guy. So when you're leaving your college program, that's what they're looking for. They're not looking for someone to develop that piece of their personality, their confidence. They need someone with that because, we all know this league will, chew you up and spit you out if you don't have that.
So am I wrong? All you guys, actually, we'll start with Cleo. Am I wrong? When you watch him on the field, when you watch him on the sideline, he doesn't seem like this commanding guy. He was that guy in college. He's not that guy now. Dave, could it be something as simple, and Cleo and Leon too, as simple as, like you said, you're now a different environment. Everybody's way up here at talent level as you are. Could it even be like he's like, I don't want to use the word intimidated, but he's like, all right, well, now this is different. I can't be what I think I can be until I perform at a high level.
That might be the case. I'm not sure. I can't speak on that point, but I could say, sometimes when people have their back against the wall, like now, his general manager's gone, his coach is gone, it's him. His back is against the wall. He has to come out fighting. So if it's going to happen, this season would be the season.
It is, Dave, right? Like you being the former coach, like if you were the guy they just hired as coach, okay, as head coach.
Yep.
What do you say to him the first time you meet him, knowing what he's gone through the last 4 years?
Yeah, I would say basically that, we've seen you've struggled some. We know you've got great talent, but it's time. It's time. It's time. We're going to put people in place. It's time for you to do what you were paid to do. I don't think it can be any.
But see, you're being very nice right now. Like, is it more of a come to Jesus moment, you think, when you have a conversation with him?
I don't think. I think.
Or you're not there
I think that he's got to get a relationship going first.
Right.
I mean,
I want to ask you this, Coach. Sometimes if you give people more responsibility, they welcome it. What about having him in the office helping with game planning, right? Helping with, putting checks together, the audibles, and having more accountability within the offense and give him more, responsibility in that manner. You think that could kind of bring something out of him?
Yeah. The only thing I would say is I don't know if they didn't do that this past year.
Right.
I don't know that. But you're right. I mean, obviously, if everybody talks to the quarterback about what do you like, what you don't like, and this, that, and the other thing. But in reality, the more responsibility you give them, they either do it or they don't. I mean, there's no question. I just don't know what they've done to this point,
No, I was going to say real quick before we go to break, I was going to say that if any player that wants to be great wants to be coached hard. And so I'm hoping Liam doesn't come in here and massage Trevor. I hope he comes in and be very critical of him because be critical of him because Trevor's in no position to not be criticized because he's struggled over the last couple of years. So it'd be I think he'll embrace that. I'm sure when they watch the film, they're going to break it down and they're going to go over some of the stuff he did good, some of the stuff he did bad, and I hope the stuff that he does bad that he critiques them. Yeah, if you want to be great, if you want to be great, you're
not going to wilt from that.
No, you want to be coached hard.
Right, that's why it's the whole Campanile thing about everybody understands an ass whooping.
Yeah,
he needs to get his ass whipped by Liam Cohen.
Yeah, and when I came in with Rashean Mathis, when we watched the tape with Rashean, I said I already know what you do good. Here's what you need to do if you want to go to the Pro Bowl.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And that's really what you're talking about. And he did it. But I mean, I'm just saying that what you're saying is correct. That's it.
Right.
You gotta criticize the guy, and if the guy's worth his salt, he's gonna respond to that.
He'll bow up, man.
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right. 1 hour down, 1 to go. We got Joe C's off doing his PGA Tour stuff. I'm Matt Hayes, Leon Searcy, our coach Dave Campo, our quarterback Cleo Len. We'll come back, get deep into this on XLP.
If your favorite colors are teal and black,
I love my Jaguars.
you're on the right track.
Best John!
1010XL, home of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Hey, John, have you heard about the incredible offers at Randy Marion Cadillac?
They've got rates as low as 3.9% for 36 and 48 months on the stunning 2024 Escalade.
That's right. Experience luxury like never before. Whether it's the exquisite interior or the advanced technology, every drive feels like a royal experience.
Visit Randy Marion Cadillac today on Southside Boulevard in Jacksonville.
And don't forget, Randy Marion is the king of price. Drive and indulge in luxury at Randy Marion Cadillac.
Plus tax tag title 999 admin fee with Persistol and approved credit.
I've been having knee problems for probably 6 months, and my knee was getting worse, and I had heard about Southeast Orthopedics on the radio, and I gave them a call. They got me right in. Dr. Kevin Murphy did it. It was painless, and it's been doing fantastic. This is Patrick Malarkey, and I highly recommend Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Relieve pain and get back to life. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Hey, poker players, get ready for a month packed with big winnings at Best Bet in Jacksonville, Orange Park, and St. Augustine. On select dates, win $300 every 15 minutes on our fast action table games, make a royal flush in hearts, and win $5,000 on Valentine's Day. And there's 24 karat gold day in Jacksonville on February 28th. It's all happening this month at Best Bet. For all the details, visit bestbetjacks.com. That's bestbetjacks.com.
What's happening, folks? E.T. here, and get out of the house and crush those New Year's resolutions on the beautiful trails of Clay County. With perfect weather, now's the time to explore Jennings State Forest, Mike Rose Gold Head State Park, and Belmore State Forest. And after your hike, refuel at one of Clay's local favorites, like Dalton's Sports Grill or the Corner Pocket. Clay is my home, so I can promise you my people will take care of you. Trust me, just visit exploreclay.com and share those adventures at #ExploreClay.
Get ready for ice-cold action with the Jacksonville Icemen. Experience the thrill of hockey, the excitement of the game, and the local spirit. Full promotional schedule at JacksonvilleIcemen.com. Join the Icemen for a season full of unforgettable moments.
If your high school student is a high performer, they could be 1010XL Scholar Athlete of the Week.
Brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
And the Plumbers and Pipe Fitters Local Union 234.
Wednesdays on The Franchi Show.
On 1010XL.
Everyone seems to be in a time crunch these days. Well, don't forget you can always count on the cold case at Daly's. Always convenient, always cold. Whether it's the king of beers, Natty Light, Stella, or Cigar City, or Goose Island, or Bud Light Seltzer, dash into Daly's and grab one to go.
Daly's Dash is not only your Jaguars game day stop, but a great place to grab a meal any day of the week. To honor the Jags and the fans, we've crafted the Duval Sub. The Duval comes with freshly sliced turkey, ham, melted cheddar, and habanero jack cheese, topped with crisp lettuce, fresh tomatoes, and a double portion of our secret sauce, all served on a fresh roll. Come by your local's Daly's Dash today to get your delicious Duval Sub. Daly's is the official convenience store sponsor of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Home of the Jacksonville Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Gun charges, drug charges. I'm Attorney Malcolm Anthony, and I specialize in handling these types of felony cases. Stay out of trouble, but if you don't, call me at 285-4LAW. That's 285-4LAW.
Brian and Angela Wall here with Window World. By now, everyone has heard about saving money on their energy bills. There are all sorts of things you can do to cut energy costs, but most people don't think about their windows.
But Window World knows that the biggest energy loss in almost every home is the windows. There is more energy loss from old builder-grade windows than just about anything else in your home.
You can upgrade your heating and air, your appliances. That's good too. But before you do all that, upgrade your windows to Window World's energy-efficient windows.
Window World's windows are easy to clean, energy efficient, and have the best guarantee in the business.
Window World's slogan is simply the best for less, and we mean it. You get great American-made windows, and you get to keep more of your money when you buy from Window World. Need any more reasons to buy your windows from Window World? Call them today and set up your free in-home estimate, or go online to windowworldneflorida.com. Window World, simply the best for less. Thank you for your business.
Window World also offers energy-efficient doors.
Bueller.
Bueller.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Hey, buddy, you look worried.
Worried? I'm apoplectic!
You're what now?
I'm freaking out, Jason. Stupid water heater crapped out, so I haven't showered since Thursday. I start smelling a little funky, blow my big corporate job interview tomorrow, I'll end up settling for some dead-end career selling spatulas on the internet.
Dude, stay cool.
There's nothing cool about a cold shower, Jason. I mean, I know how that sounds, but
Bueller Air and Plumbing can get a new water heater installed today. The day you call. You could be smelling fresh again by dinner time.
wait, you can do that?
Put on these sunglasses.
Whoa.
Is that cooler?
Oh, yeah.
Well, life moves pretty fast. If you spend much more time smelling like this, you could miss it.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Visit BuellerAir.com.
Have you got concrete or asphalt rubble piling up? Arcosa Crushed Concrete will pay you for it and recycle it. They're just minutes from Everbank Stadium on Talleyrand. Call Arcosa Crushed Concrete and get paid for what you don't need. ArcosaCrushedConcrete.com.
I'm Max Fink, here with your 1010XL Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update. With the late hiring of General Manager James Gladstone, the way that the free agency and draft process is being handled by the personnel and scouting department has looked a little bit different this year, with a new general manager being hired smack in the middle of the process. Executive Vice President Tony Baselli explained to CBS Sports' Jonathan Jones how the front office has been preparing and marrying the work they've done to what James Gladstone brings to the table.
I got to give credit to Ethan Waugh, our assistant general manager. He did a great job of leading our personnel department where we didn't skip a beat. So the process will be different a little bit this year because we're ejecting a new GM. James will bring in his processes, his thoughts, the way he looks at it. Obviously, we greatly influenced even in this draft. And I think after the draft is where we'll see the new processes come into place of how we do things. And James will lead that.
It's 71 degrees at 3 o'clock. Time and temp brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL is presented by Farrah & Farrah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. This is XL Primetime. Brought to you by Florida Home AC. Now that's cool. On 1010XL.
All right, we're back on XLP. This is heavy lifting, everyone, okay? This isn't easy when you're trying to fix a guy. Trent Baalke couldn't do it. Herb certainly couldn't do it. And it took a Super Bowl winning coach, thought he did it for about 7 games. He couldn't do it. So now everybody's getting fired, but the quarterback's still here. So here's my question to you guys, and we talked about this off the air, and I want to bring this now on the show because I think it's a very interesting point. The problem, I think, and Leon, you've mentioned this a few times over the years. The problem right now in that locker room is there's no one with the professional gravitas. In other words, a guy that has year after year after year has brought it to at a high level that can walk up to Trevor Lawrence in his locker and say, hey, man, you're not doing your part. We're losing because you're not playing well. Mm-hmm. We're losing because you have 68 turnovers in 60 games.
Yeah.
There's no one like that. Like had Josh Hines Allen followed up his 17.5 sack season with the 15 sack season, well, he could have said, hey, what's going on here, man?
Well, there's no one that has the moxie that can walk up to Trevor and say, hey, man, you got to play better. Because everybody.
They do too.
Everybody in the locker room. But see, I've been in locker rooms where the defense is flourished and the offense is struggled, and defense comes and hey, offense. No, pick it up. Or I gave you a clear example. I was at University of Miami, 1991. We were the number 1 team in the country. We had just beat Florida State, and we had to go play Florida. We had to play Boston College. We escaped with our lives, 19-14, right? Because it was the offense. We struggled. The defense kept us in the game. They won the game for us. So we're in the plane, 30,000 feet in the air, and Jesse Arm says, hey, offense, y'all need to pick that blank up because you almost cost us a game. He said it about 2 or 3 times, and we stood up, they stood up, and we fought on the plane. And we were number
30,000 feet.
We were number 1 team in the country. Number 1 team in the country fighting because we almost lost the game. But he was right, though. He was right. You can't, at some particular point, if the defense or the offense plays well, you can't keep belling each other out. You got to be able to play your part at a very high level. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think there's nobody in that locker room. There's no unit in that locker room that can go to the offense and say, hey, listen, offense, Now I've been on sidelines with the defense say, hey, offense, give us a break, man. Yeah, these 3 and outs are killing us. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I've been on those sidelines like that. So it's no different. When the defense is playing well and the offense is struggling, there needs to be somebody to go and say, hey, offense, hey, y'all got to pick it up, bro.
Right, but if there's this is kind of my point, is if there's no one in that locker room that has the professional gravitas, that has, look, I'm an all-pro, I've done this year after year after year, you have to listen to me. There's no one in that locker room that can say that to him.
Bro, you can't say anything. You're 4-13. It's probably your play is not elevated as well to where you can say
that's kind of my point.
Yeah.
So then who becomes that guy?
Well, I think that they tried to do that. I think that Doug recognized that part of it when he said, I know how to fix this. We need some guys that have done this before and some veterans to come in and kind of be, what knows what it is to win and been around winners.
Well, those were
but they didn't get the right guys. I mean, obviously it didn't work, but you're right. I mean, I don't know that there's enough over in there to get
not only that, I don't know that he's, Leon said about Coach Hart. I don't think he's been coached hard his entire time in the NFL. And I want to ask both you and Cleo this because I want to take you back to training camp last year, okay? And I know, Cleo, we've talked about this too. It was probably a week into it, maybe a week and a half into it. And he missed under coverage 2 straight plays and was picked. But remember, we were standing there, and I said, Dave, he just missed that under coverage again.
Right.
So in my head, I'm thinking, they're going to go in and watch practice film. And if you're the coach, you got to jump on him at that point, don't you?
Yeah.
This is the NFL. You cannot miss under coverage, number one.
Right.
You can't miss it 2 times in a row and throw 2 interceptions at the goal line.
Right.
He's got to be coached harder too, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's a great point. I think it's a combination with the quarterback. The quarterback handling them. Here's a guy to talk about that. Handling the quarterback's a little bit different than handling Leon Searcy.
I understand that.
You got to put on white gloves.
I understand.
No, you don't. Stop.
No, you have to put on white gloves.
Stop.
But you got to handle it.
But you guys as quarterbacks understand the enormity of the position you're in. Like we talk about that every time you're here. Like it's so much more than making a throw. It's like everything you have to do from the moment that you hear the play call to the moment the ball is snapped to the next 3 or 4 or 5 seconds it's ridiculous the amount of information, right? Yeah. But at the same point, that's who you are. It's what you know. It's who you are. It's how you're built. So someone's got to get that out of you.
Yes.
What's the best way to get it out of you?
I think it depends on, you got to know your person and who's in the room. So I can take you back to when I was with the San Diego Chargers. It was Drew Brees. We had just drafted Phillip Rivers, and then we had Doug Flutie and myself, right? And
pretty good room.
Yeah. Great room. It was a great room. Great guys. Learned a lot from those guys. And we had a practice. And Cam Cameron was the offense coordinator. Brian Schottenheimer was the quarterback coach. And one period, I can remember like it was yesterday, Drew threw a pick. Phillip, you get in there. Phillip throws a pick. Doug, you get in there. He throws a pick. B. Shotty MF'd us that practice, right? Right after that period. He MF'd us. He was throwing things around the field. He got on us pretty tough. And I didn't get any reps that period. And, I was cool with everybody on the team. So the defense, some of my boys, and the corners over there were celebrating and going crazy. And I just hear somebody say, Cleo, I know you glad you didn't get a rep that period. So they was talking trash. And, B. Shotty was, he got after us. Right. And I think we responded, right? We responded, and the rest of practice was different. The ball didn't touch the ground. The competitiveness came out, and that's part of it. And I think that's what you have to do with these quarterbacks. You have to challenge them, and sometimes now you look at the youth guys and they come up and they're coddled. Mm-hmm. To Leon's point, they're coddled in junior high because the coaches want them to come play on their team. Then they coddled in high school, because they want them to come play on their 7-on-7 team. And then they get to college. They coddled because they don't want them to transfer to another school. Right. And then you get to the men, right, in the NFL, and that has to go out the window. Now you got to coach them hard, and the expectations have to be there.
And I guess, and again, I hear grief from this all the time when I say this. I don't know why you don't do it in public. Like, I don't know why in camp, when he missed those under coverages, 2 plays in a row and threw 2 picks in the end zone, 2 plays in a row why he didn't get pulled out of the 7-on-7, and Mike McCoy or whoever.
It was 7-on-7?
Yeah, Mike McCoy or whoever.
Yeah, it was the first day of training camp.
I think it was like the second or third day.
Second or third day.
Yeah, but 7-on-7.
First time in the red zone, so he made 2 bad throws. Yeah,
7-on-7.
Like
That's
bad throws. Like he missed coverage.
The same guy intercepted the ball in both of them.
So
Dewey.
My point is, take him aside and coach him hard. Don't say, "Hey, man, that's you got to see that under coverage. I know it's early, but we'll get it. Don't worry about it. We got it, buddy. Everything's good, man. Let's go. Come on, coach him, man.
Yeah.
Sit there and say you can't miss that. You cannot miss that coverage because that's how you lose games. That's how Trevor. Remember back in the Texans when you threw that interception in the end zone, you missed the under coverage. We lost the game because of that. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with saying that to somebody.
No, you're right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Now, we don't know what's being said in the team meeting.
We don't, but
you
also,
want them to address it right then and there when it happens.
Then and there.
I understand what you're saying, yeah. Because coaches can't, in the team meeting, they can get aggressive in meetings when they watch a film.
Sure,
of
course.
When you blow assignments and all that kind of stuff.
But, bro, it's also just the coach and the 3 other quarterbacks. It's not the entire team that's hearing him say, you can't do that. We lose games because of that.
Yeah. No.
Yeah. I mean, you got to
because you don't want the level of, well, the quarterback's up here and he can't be criticized. The rest of you schlubs down here, you can be criticized. You know what I mean?
Well, I know the offensive line coach not waiting.
No, he's not.
No, wait, man. None of those other coaches are waiting.
Listen, you know how many times I heard, damn you, Searcy, when you miss a block?
Right.
Oh, yeah. That's coming. Offensive line coach don't play that. Right then and there, right? We had 907 or middle drill, stuff like that, or blitz drill and all that kind of stuff. You miss a block on an assignment or like that, the offensive line coach is on you right then and there. And then you're going to get some more when you get in the meeting room.
I can tell you this. If I was the head coach, and again, I'm not a head coach, okay? He threw that second one, I would have blown the whistle, stopped the practice, and say, that's where you lose games right there. And I would have let everybody hear it. When you miss that coverage and you throw into under coverage, that's how you lose games. So everyone would hear it. So it's not, he's the quarterback. You can't be coached hard. Why can't a quarterback be coached just as hard as a safety or just as hard as a linebacker? Did you coach quarterbacks the same way?
I didn't coach quarterbacks.
But my point is, did you ask your quarterbacks coaches to coach them the same way?
Absolutely. I told them, I said, look, it's your responsibility to get your guys to play the best they can play. However you do it, that's you. That's who you are.
Did you tell them if they don't play well, I'm going to be pissed off at you, not them?
Yeah, heck yeah. No question about it. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But Leon, am I wrong thinking that where you've got to actually address it right then, and it can't just be, hey,
you got to address it right there.
You got to do better.
You got to address it right there so it doesn't fester. You got to, and that's the reason why I think all my offense, all the guys that coached me, right then and there, when they saw a problem, wherever it was, they corrected it right there, and I can appreciate that. Especially if I know I blew an assignment or I missed a block or something like that. You can appreciate that right there.
And I don't mean to get off subject, but just a quick Nick Saban story with the Dolphins.
First off, you're never off subject with Nick Saban.
Yeah.
He's always on subject.
So that was his deal. He didn't wait. He would address it right there on the field. But what he wasn't used to was the feedback right there on the field. So he would get feedback from the guys he would coach hard. Mm-hmm. And I think eventually that's what led him back to college football.
Right.
Because he would address it. He wouldn't wait.
Right.
And it was a couple different occasions where he got it coming back to him. And I don't know if that was something that set well with him.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, there is I know you guys don't like to hear this, and I know there's a structure of I'm the boss, you're the player.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
Again, I know you guys say this all the time. No, you can't do that with NFL players. Go sit down. I'll put Mac Jones in the game. I'll put him in practice. Let him throw the ball around a little bit. Go sit down and think about it. There's nothing wrong with that. There is nothing wrong with that.
Well, I mean, as an assistant coach, that was the norm. You've heard me say that if I didn't get into an argument with James Washington, who I love to this day, if I didn't get in an argument with him during a game, we weren't going to win because he knew more than I did, but I knew more than he did, and it was a constant battle. I love the guy.
All right, we need to go to break, but I want to ask you something real quick. Did Norv Turner coach Troy Hard?
Yes, he did. Norv was a good coach.
Norv got in his face, right?
He did. He
on
was,
game days. I remember that. Yes.
Yeah, no question about it. Norv. The only thing is that, it was a little tougher in game days because he was in the press box, but on the phone.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like you could see him screaming in the press box.
Yeah.
And guess what? Troy loved him.
It all comes down. Oh yeah, absolutely. But it all comes down to me is that every person's different. How you deal with one person, it's not sometimes that aren't in with that team thing don't understand that dealing with Leon Searcy might be different than dealing with whoever. And some people handle those things better than others, and so you can't make it a blanket. I'm going to rip everybody because one guy.
No, not rip everybody.
Up.
No. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying he can't be immune.
No, he has
from
to
the international language of ass whipping.
Oh yeah, because he's the most important. He's the most important person on the field when it comes right down to it.
And to your point, Coach, I would also say it comes down to one thing: is trust.
Yeah.
Because if you trust that coach that's coaching to develop you to get better,
right, you're fine with it. Right.
He has your best interest in mind. Because because sometimes they know that camera's on you on the sideline, and sometimes things are said to let the fans and the people that's watching know, hey, that wasn't my fault. Yeah. It was his fault. And if you feel that, every time there's something going on that you're trying to deflect, right, that's where sometimes the problem come in. But if there's trust there, it's genuine, and he wants what's best for you.
I've never understood why when the player makes a mistake and he walks by the coach, even the quarterback, he just keeps walking. I'm like, he's trying to ask you.
Yeah, he's
and they just keeps walking.
I grabbed Terrence Newman and got into a fight on the sideline, which I regret. but that was the case. I'm talking to him. He walked right by me, and I'd already started him from the hash mark all the way in.
That's what happens when you make money.
He didn't even look at me.
When they pay to do that,
and I grabbed him. I just stopped him. I didn't really grab him. I stopped him. And, that's what happened.
Because he's saying, at the end of the day, I make more money than you.
Yeah, well, hell yeah. He sure did. For about 17 years, I think he was in the league.
All right, let's go to break. We'll be back on the other side, XLP.
Find Florida Gators basketball on 1010XL.
It's a top 12 matchup in the Swamp. Florida, Texas A&M. Tomorrow night at 8 on 1010XL.
When you're a little kid on the playground, they tell you don't hit back. Well, the courtroom isn't a playground. And if you've suffered an injury or death in your family, I'm here to tell you it's okay to hit back and fight to make them pay. I'm attorney Brett Hastings, and at Hastings Injury Law, we understand all the pain and emotion that comes with being wrong. And we've dedicated our lives to making things right for people like you. So if you get hit back with Hastings Injury Law. Offices, Jacksonville.
Frank Franger here for Bono's Pit Barbecue. It's cold outside, and the best way to stay warm this winter is with the new Bono's limited time offer, a signature Bono's barbecue sandwich paired with your choice of savory super chili, starting at just $11.99. Your choice of a pulled pork, smoked turkey, smoked sausage, char-grilled chicken, or beef brisket sandwich, plus a bowl of a hot, delicious soup or chili. You can't beat that deal, so hurry into Bono's. And remember, if you don't see a pit, it ain't legit.
This is Daytona, the awe-inspiring spectacle of Supercross, and the most challenging course to witness the air-catching, adrenaline-pumping, heart-pounding action unlike any other race in Florida. Daytona Supercross. The biggest names battle it out under the lights at the World Center of Racing. Don't miss it. The gate drops Saturday, March 1st. Secure your tickets and trackside access today at DaytonaInternationalSpeedway.com.
These days, we do everything from our phones. That's why JEA's app lets you manage your utility services anytime, anywhere. Whether you want to view your account, pay your bill, sign up for programs, or check the outage map, you can do it all right from the app, when and where it's convenient for you. Because we want to make doing business with us as quick and easy as possible. Download the free JEA app from the App Store today. JEA, your community, your utility.
We're certainly facing interesting economic times. For me, it's comforting to know my money's in good hands with ITP Partners. Jacksonville guys taking care of my Jacksonville money. Experience? Yeah, that's Chris Bryan, Jeff Hartman, Reagan Wright, Dan Abel. Scott Regner, Janice Cobb, and Reed Wingate. They have the expertise and knowledge to take care of your money. For more info, go to itbpartners.com. ITB Partners, they're my financial partners for life.
Non-compensated client testimonial may not be representative of all client experiences. No guarantee of future performance or success.
This month, 1010XL shines the spotlight on African Americans in our community who have made the First Coast a better place to live. I'm E.T. Listen for my stories during Black History Month on 1010XL. Brought to you by Instant Keys and McGowan Spinal Rehabilitation Center.
3D Digital has you covered for any of your business's digital marketing needs. From producing award-winning videos to getting those digital ads to follow your customers around the internet, our team has your back. Visit 3ddigital.com or give us a call at 904-712-4004 to schedule a free consultation today. 904-712-4004.
I'm here with Clayton Bromberg of Underwoods. Clayton, when a customer goes to buy a diamond, how do they know what they are getting?
Frank, that's a good question because what they know comes from the assurances given by the seller, and they can only judge based on the knowledge and reputation of the selling store. Now, over the last 25 years, I've seen some customers misled, and unfortunately, Underwoods was the bearer of bad news too many times. In the 1980s, we saw diamonds brought in with exaggerated grades and no laboratory grading reports. Then in the 90s, we saw some of the poorest cut diamonds ever, even though they had laboratory reports on weight, color, and clarity. Then the American Gem Society opened a laboratory and started grading diamonds for cut, and poorly cut diamonds got priced for what they were. Now we see diamonds from the internet and other places where diamonds are bought sight unseen with a lab report and a bogus appraisal. Unfortunately, not all those diamonds match the reports they're sold with, but how would a customer know? Probably today more than ever, the truest statement is, if you don't know diamonds, you better know a jeweler you can trust.
Hey Jacksonville, Lauren here from Helmets and Heels. When it's time for new tires, look no further than Big Chief Tire. Their experts will help you quickly find the right fit, ensuring a safe and comfortable ride. With quality options, fair prices, and quick installation, you'll be back on the road in no time. Visit WeKeepJacksRollin.com or call 904-932-0950 to schedule your appointment and roll into 2025 with even greater confidence guaranteed. Big Chief Tire keeps Jacks rolling.
Reclaim a pain-free life with Rebound Rehab. If you've been injured or simply feeling the effects of an active life, you can rely on Rebound Rehabilitation to get you back in the game. Sitting on the sidelines isn't any fun. Trust Rebound Rehab's team of trained physical therapists to get you back up to speed and feeling full again. Now more convenient than ever. 11 locations to serve you, including new offices in Riverside across from St. Vincent's, Point Meadows, and Middleburg. Just log on to reboundrehab.com to see all they've got to offer.
Mark Watson with Hardball Creative. Now's the perfect time to order logo coffee mugs or maybe a logoed Sick brand tumbler. They're seriously ice cold and look great with your company logo. Hardballcreative.com.
Hardball Creative. Hardball does it all.
Transform your bathroom with stunning shower glass from Sky Glass Solutions in Jacksonville Beach. For a free quote, call 904-608-5151 or visit skyglasssolutions.com.
1010XL is presented by Farrah & Farrah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. This is XL Primetime, brought to you by Florida Home AC. Now that's cool on 1010XL.
We're back on XLP. Joe C is at his tour with the PGA Tour. His tour with the PGA Tour. His duties. We got Leon Searcy. We got our coach Dave Campbell. We got our quarterback Cleo Lemon. We've been talking Jags and Trevor Lawrence and how to fix Trevor and how to make it mean something. I'm telling because in college you could tell it meant something to him. There's no doubt about it. And I just refuse to believe that once players get to the NFL, it's more of a business and it doesn't mean as much to them. I just don't believe that. I've been sitting next to this guy for 5 years. Yep. And everything that I've learned from him is you better damn well believe it means something to me.
Yeah, and don't think they don't need to be coached, taught.
Right. And you were talking off the air that your most favorite time as a coach wasn't as a head coach. It was as a position coach because you could get into it with
Absolutely.
Players. Not negatively. You could coach them hard.
Yeah, I made the statement that I missed playing. So for me, being around the guys and figuring out how to get this done and that done in my unit was more important to me than anything else. And that's, that probably hurt me as a head coach overall, because I really enjoyed that part of football more than anything else.
Right.
Also, when it comes to your position, coach, for me anyway, you knew the ones that had your back, and so as a unit, you wanted to make them look good.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? As a unit, you wanted to make them look good. So when they were hard on you, you understood it, because as an offensive line unit, I played with some great ones, even in college and in the pros. And when you offensive line coach, because listen, Mazur, God rest his soul, when we had bad games, we were sitting in the meeting room, we were all slumped over and all. He would come in and flick on the lights and say, "Y'all wake up! I just got my ass chewed because of y'all." He says, "The little that I have, I got to chew from TC." He said, "We're going to fix this problem." So we knew that he went to bat for us.
Yeah.
With the head coach, he took all the heat for us, from us. So we knew as a unit we had to circle the wagons and to make sure that never happened again.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's funny is there's a famous video from Augie Garrido, the legendary Texas baseball coach, University of Texas baseball coach,
I've seen that.
They lose a game and it's just a random midweek game.
Yeah.
And they missed the cutoff. They missed a bunt sign, and he lost his ever-loving mind.
In the locker room.
Yes.
That's a great video.
And his whole point was, you guys are just going to go, and you're going to go to class, and you're eventually going to move on. You're going to some of you will play Major League Baseball. Others will go. You'll be great pillars for the community. I've got to live with this every day of my life that you missed that cutoff.
Yep.
And that's what we always put it all on the players, but there's got to be that. If there's that type of passion in the coach, if you can match that type of want, and I know it's there. I've heard from Leon for 5 years now. He was that type of guy. If you have that type of intensity, Cleo, as a quarterback, where I got to live with that pick for the rest of my life, it's different, right? You are a different quarterback then.
It's very different. And it kind of, like when you say that, it kind of reflected me on a piece I saw with Rick Pitino. And he was in the locker room, and they just showed, one of his conversations.
St. John, just recently, right?
Recently.
Yeah.
And he was talking about life and how everything is not going to go right. But I don't care if you miss a shot, play defense. I don't care if you turn the ball over, play defense. Everything's not going to go right. And then you can get on your team if they know that they trust you and you know what's best for them, and they feel that, not hear it. They feel it because it's something that happens every day, and you build that cachet with them. You can coach them hard as you want to, because they want, to Leon's point, they want to be coached. The great ones, Tom Brady says it all the time. He wanted to be coached. He didn't want somebody to come in there and be his buddy.
And Leon, you were talking about the Greg Lloyd incident after the Super Bowl, and you want to talk about where it means something to someone, where they got to live with it for the rest of their life. Tell that story real quick.
The Greg Lloyd story?
Yeah, the Greg Lloyd story.
I don't know about that one now.
You can bleep it in your head. Come on.
All right. Well, no, we just lost the Super Bowl to the Dallas Cowboys, and the media came in there and asked us a bunch of questions, stuff like that. I was still in my uniform, waiting, whatever. So it came to a point where it was like 3 people left in the meeting room. In the locker room. I was in there. Greg Lloyd, Neil O'Donnell was across from me, and Greg Lloyd had just come out the shower. So everybody was pissed off because we lost the game, but everybody was more pissed off at Neil because he threw the 2 interceptions that cost us the game. So, to the same guy, by the way. And
the guy that was coached by the guy to the left of me.
Exactly. So Neil O'Donnell was about to leave, and before he left, Greg Lloyd called his name twice, said, Neil, 3 times. And Neil turned around, and Greg Lloyd told Neil, don't let me catch you in the streets. And I knew how crazy Greg Lloyd was. So,
and more important, Neil knew how crazy Greg Lloyd was.
Yeah. It was a knee-jerk reaction to the fact that we had just lost the Super Bowl. But guys like Greg were. I always tell people this: Greg was something else, but he was a jackass, but he was my jackass. How about that?
Yeah,
all right, he was my guy.
Yeah.
I knew where he was. I knew that he was my guy. You know what I'm saying? He was physical. He was nasty. He was tough. He was mean and all that. So he was my guy. So everything Greg did, he wore it on his sleeve. So
yeah, he may have been a jackass, but he wanted it.
Yeah, he wanted it, absolutely. So I mean, him saying that to Neil, I mean, it's just that it was a crushing blow, knowing what we had went through to get to this point, to ultimately lose it, and it was heartfelt, and he felt it, I felt it,
yeah,
right.
You know, the emotions of losing the Super Bowl. So yeah, that was said in the locker room. It was. I wanted to get Neil some security on the way.
But he never came back to the Steelers, by the way, right?
No, he didn't. He went to the Jets.
Would you have been his Uber driver?
Yeah, something to get him out of town. I'm telling you.
You'd have taken those bags out of town just like you take Trevor's bags out of town?
Yeah, I would have had to do something because he meant that, though.
But, Dave, we talk about it all the time. It's football is a game of want and will.
Yeah.
And it's no different with coaching and coaching someone hard. Like, you've got to want to coach them hard, which I don't think they did with Trevor. I really don't. And, again, they may have done it in the locker room and we didn't see it. But it just doesn't, like, a guy doesn't play like that, okay? And not only just Trevor, the quarterback position. Mac Jones did not play well either. So you don't play like that unless you're coached. Look, this is the best way to say it, and I know you've said this to me too. A player is a direct reflection of how he's coached.
Yeah.
So if those guys are not playing well, they're not being coached well, or they're not being coached hard enough. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I would agree with that. The only thing I disagree with at all is we had Warren Moon. I think I might have mentioned this when you were on with us once before, but we had Warren Moon on our show. You were here. No, maybe you were gone.
Right.
It was one of the shows.
He was on the show.
Yeah, Warren.
I think I remember that. It was a couple years ago. Yeah.
When Warren was on the show, Warren said, here's the thing about the quarterback. It's the most important position in any sport.
Yeah, I agree.
Team sport.
Totally agree.
Any team sport, right?
Yep.
He's also the most reliant on other people.
Yes.
Okay?
That's a great point.
So when you look at a quarterback, some of it, not every time he makes a bad throw is it because he made the mistake. He made the mistake by thinking he could still make the throw when he's under duress. Now, when he's not under duress, that's why Cleo said in 7-on-7, that's probably not a good time to do it.
Right, because the look on Cleo's face was 7-on-7?
Yeah, that's 7-on-7.
That's not the right time to do it.
Right.
Right? But I'm saying that we've talked about this ad nauseum. The thing that'll fix Trevor Lawrence, in my opinion, is the stuff around him, not individual players, but team.
The framework,
whatever it is.
Yes.
The guys up front being able to run it and protect the middle so he can step up. Those two things will make him a better. Not every one of those mistakes was based on him. It was other things involved. That's the only thing that I hesitate to put it all on him when the mistakes are made. That's how I look at
real
it.
quickly, let me ask Dave one more thing. Do you think he's been coached well enough in these 4 years? And I know you hate to take shots at other coaches.
Yeah, I mean, that position is also one where you have to. There is technique involved, and I think technique has faltered in the NFL at every position.
Right.
Not just the quarterback position.
They're trying to get away with their athleticism.
Yeah, but some guys, don't need to be coached as much as other people. In other words, that's why I'm saying with Deion Sanders, you didn't have to coach him. He as long as he was mentally into it.
Right.
And that's the question in my mind with Trevor. Is he totally mentally and work everything tunnel vision to where he's going?
Right.
When you heard Troy Aikman on that deal,
right,
he was tunnel visioned. When you talk about Jimmy Johnson, he was tunnel visioned on what he wanted to get done.
Right.
I'm not sure of that right now, and I think that's going to be an issue that we'll find out here in the next year or two.
What does that entail as a quarterback? Tunnel vision. That concept.
You have to be very locked in, right? And it's, it's year round. You don't take a break. You don't take days off. You have to have the ultimate focus. And also to Coach's point, I think you earn that when you get to a certain level and you've proved it as a young quarterback, there's going to come a time when they do take the training wheels off and they say, hey, look, I don't have to coach you as hard, but there's a process to get to that point.
Right.
So I think you do coach a young player hard until it becomes consistent. We used to have a phrase, don't get bored with the 3-foot putt, right?
Yeah.
You have to make that putt every time. That's what a championship golfer does. He has to make that putt. And there's certain throws you just have to make. It's non-negotiable. You have to make it. When you get to that point to where you consistently, like an NBA player, you consistently walk into any arena and that NBA player is averaging 25 points, he's got it figured out. I probably don't need you to come to every shoot around.
Right.
I don't need you to put up 1,000 shots,
right,
even though Steph Curry still does it. But you have to get to that point, and coaching helps you get to that point faster and more efficient. And when it comes to the technique, that quarterback position is all technique. You can be as athletic as anyone in the league, but if you don't have the proper technique and you're not repeating that behavior, then you won't be successful in that position.
And it's a process. It's not like it'll be done in one year or 2 years. You got to get after it. It's a good 3-4 year deal, and it's the preparation in that process, right?
Muscle memory.
Yeah, there's so much more than just, all right, go out there and make the throw.
Yeah, it's like a golfer in his golf swing, right? Yeah. It's technique. It's repeating that behavior over and over again, and then when you master that, then I might pull the reins back. But until then, I'm going to coach you hard until you get to that point.
Well, Matt, you remember I told you when I was in the league, my first couple of years, I got to about my third year when I was the Steelers, and I told you that I had worked on stuff so much, so fast, watched film, till the game slowed down. Right. I can't explain it to you, but I saw guys make moves before they made them. Yeah. I mean, I say
that's very Keno Reeves of you.
My intent. Yeah, it's like the anticipation of them making the move.
Right.
I had watched so much film, studied so hard, practice, reps after practice, after running and stuff to where when I'm playing in the game, it's almost, you say the Matrix, you're laughing though, but the truth is that the game actually slows down for you. The more you study, the more you train, the more you put effort into it. Right. Because my first year I came in the league, it was like bullets were flying.
Yeah.
It was. And then I took my lumps, and by the third year, I mean, when I made an All-Pro, second team All-Pro, the game had slowed down. I saw guys move. I was calling out stunts.
Yeah. Right.
Watch the twist.
Right.
Buck tough, all that kind of, I was calling out all that stuff.
Coach on the field.
Yes. But when I came in my rookie year, even though I was All-American at Miami, I had to take my lumps.
Right.
But until when my third year came, like you said, it slowed down, and now all of a sudden my trajectory is this way.
All right, we need to go to break. We're going to come back on the other side and finish this thing up. It's XLP.
The Players Championship is the biggest PGA Tour event you can win.
If you can't make it to the Players, let 1010XL bring the Players to you with Southeast Orthopedic Specialist Leaderboard updates. Teed up by Renewal by Anderson, Custom Windows and Doors.
The Deck Guys.
And Taco Lou.
Hey, John, have you heard about the incredible offers at Randy Marion Cadillac?
They've got rates as low as 3.9% for 36 and 48 months on the stunning 2024 Escalade.
That's right. Experience luxury like never before. Whether it's the exquisite interior or the advanced technology, every drive feels like a royal experience.
Visit Randy Marion Cadillac today on Southside Boulevard in Jacksonville.
And don't forget, Randy Marion is the king of price. Drive and indulge in luxury at Randy Marion Cadillac.
Plus tax tag title 999 admin fee with Resistol and approved credit.
Frank Frangie here for South State Bank. At South State, they believe strong relationships build strong businesses. That's why they take the time to understand your goals, challenges, and vision so they can provide solutions tailored to your needs, like they've done for me for years. South State has always been there for our business and our charity. With a team you can trust and a commitment to personalized service, South State Bank is here to be more than your bank. They're your partner in business. Visit southstatebank.com. South State Bank, member FDIC.
Get this thing unwrapped here. Duval!
Praz, what in the world are you doing working on your Duval?
That's right, man. I really identify with Duval.
You live in St. John's County, knucklehead.
I mean the Duval sub, the Daily Stash Duval. Turkey, ham, habanero jack cheeses, lettuce, tomato, crispy and fresh, like me. I'm sure there's a Daily Stash sub that sums you up.
The boss.
Because, of course,
Oven roasted beef, Munster cheese, roasted mushrooms, caramelized onions. It's the boss of all subs. Only available for me.
That's just not true.
What do you mean? I walked in the other day, screamed, "You know it," and said, "A boss for a boss."
Well, no matter who you are, there is a Daily Stash sandwich or sub for you.
Go find yours. They may even make you a boss.
I'm sure they will, because it is Daily Stash.
Where more is better.
And you got that right.
If you suffer from constant burning, tingling, or numbness in your hands or feet, it could be a serious condition called neuropathy. I'm Dr. Nathan Riddle, DC with Riddle Wellness in Ponte Vedra. Neuropathy is treatable, and we have seen great results by using state-of-the-art, non-invasive therapies to target damaged nerves, reduce symptoms, and improve nerve function. Call 904-395-5598 to schedule your free consultation today and learn how you can live pain-free. Call 904-395-5598.
Hello, First Coast. I'm sure by now you have seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We're an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We're committed to customer service, reliability, and have an unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today from GFL, Green for Life.
Are you 18 years or older, just got married, just got divorced, or have children? Listen up. Have you done your last will and estate planning? If you have questions, call Matt Hinson with the Hinson Law Firm. Reach him at 527-1700. Office is Jacksonville, Florida. And don't let the state decide your fate.
This Date in Sports History is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On February 28, 1967, Philadelphia 76ers center Wilt Chamberlain's streak of 35 consecutive field goals ended in a win over the Cincinnati Royals.
The Jacksonville Icemen are back at home this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday against the Savannah Ghost Pirates and Greenville Swamp Rabbits at VyStar Veterans Memorial Arena for Military Appreciation Weekend. Presented by CSX and the Nimnick family of dealerships. Join as we honor our military with special jerseys and pregame festivities. Friday and Saturday's game time 7, Sunday at 3. You and your family can take a shot on goal on the ice after the game. Tickets at Ticketmaster, JacksIceman.com, or call 602-PUCK. Iceman Hockey is #Frozen Frenzy.
Home is where your story begins. And at Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing, we're here to make it the healthiest, most comfortable place it could be. Whether it's fresh, clean air, dependable plumbing, or reliable power, we take care of it all. From routine maintenance to state-of-the-art solutions, Donovan keeps your home running smoothly. Because at Donovan, we believe your home isn't just where you live, it's where your health meets comfort. Call Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing at 904-270-COOL or visit us online. Let's make your home healthier, safer, and better together.
I'm with Greg from Cycles of Jacksonville, and you got really cool things going on right now because there's new product coming in the showroom. Tell everybody about the Aprilia Demo Days.
March 11th and 12th. It's a Tuesday, Wednesday. We're going to have the Aprilia demo truck. We caught them on the way back from Daytona Bike Week. They're going to be there. Come ready to ride.
Tell everybody real quick about Aprilia.
They are a bad Italian motorcycle. Nobody's ever ridden an Italian anything and said that wasn't fun.
Check it out. Cycles of Jacksonville. All the details on their Facebook page.
Don't miss the Players Championship, March 11th through 16th at TPC Sawgrass. This can't-miss event features a variety of activities for every fan to enjoy, from delicious bites to the Sawgrass Splash. There are endless fan enhancements that will make for a memorable experience. Plus, watch the top PGA Tour players, including back-to-back champion Scottie Scheffler, take on the iconic stadium course featuring the famous Island Green. Tickets available at theplayers.com.
Joe C for CSS Fireplaces and Outdoor Living. They can transform your backyard with fire pits, pergolas, screen enclosures, and outdoor kitchens. And CSS handles the entire project from start to finish. You dream it, they build it. CSSOutdoor.com.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Now, the Cool Down with Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing. Keeping Jack's cool since 1987.
All right, my takeaway is I don't think we fixed Trevor yet. Is he fixable? That's the question you have to ask. Of course he's fixable.
Got a little work in, though.
Of course he's fixable. Listen, I love good Trevor, all right? All you need to do is protect him, give him a run game, and he'll be fine. Listen, I'm expecting a banner year from him this year. I think we're going to put the pieces in place to help Trevor out, give him a run game, give him a solid offensive line. I know Matt says that. He asked me earlier in the radio set. He's asked me that I hated quarterbacks. I love quarterbacks.
You kind of do a little bit.
No, I don't. I do. I protect them.
Jealous.
I protect. Now I am now of that. Now I am.
Yeah, financially especially.
Exactly. But I love quarterbacks, and listen, I'm expecting big things from Trevor. I'm excited about the youth movement here in Jacksonville's new energy. Has that new car smell. I'm looking forward to Jaguars doing some good things this year.
My takeaway is that when the combine gets here, that's the new league, new year coming up. When the combine's here, whether you like it, you don't like it. And the thing is, the guys that are on the field today are the DBs. And I want to see the DBs move around. So I'm excited today because I'm going to go home and watch the DBs on the combine.
Don't get bored with the 3-foot putt, you know.
Like that, yeah.
I'm ready for these guys to get out there, to Leon's point, work on their craft, right? We need to get better. We need to master, our positions. So coach them hard. I love the energy that these young guys are bringing in on the coaching staff, and I know they will coach them hard. And just work on your craft, man. Figure it out, what you need to get better at, self-scout yourself, and then go from there and make your strengths stronger and your weaknesses your strengths.
Yeah, my takeaway is the value of newness. And we haven't hit this yet, but I think it kind of pieces together what we've been talking about is when you've got guys that have been in the league for a long time, be it GMs, be it coaches, or both, they have a system that they use. A, B, C, D. We're doing it this. And if you don't fit in there, then it doesn't work. I think with the young dudes, it's different. With this, we're calling them the young guns now here in XLP.
Young guns.
I think it's different. I think they're going to try different things. Grant Udinski and obviously Liam Cohen. I think you're going to see. I think Liam Cohen, just from the few things he said, where he has said, no, we're going to show them on tape. No, you did that wrong. This is what's the right way to do it. I think he's going to coach them hard. And again, there's nothing wrong with coaching players hard, specifically a quarterback. And I'm not just saying this complete. It's not unique to Trevor. It's every quarterback in the NFL. There's nothing wrong with coaching guys and getting them to reach their level, to reach their ceiling. Now, you have to put pieces around them, which we've said over and over and over. And if we're going to circle all the way back to how we began this show today, is I would still take Trevor over Matt Stafford. I would, because I think if he's coached properly, we've seen the type of talent that he is. Like, we're all on the text string together during the games. He makes plays and we're like, man, that's what you got to see all the time.
Right.
And then there'll be a play where you're like, what in the world? But that goes back to what Cleo was saying. If you do something repetitively over and over and over, and you're coached a way to do it over and over and over, and what Leon was saying about the matrix, it's all second nature to you. Like, Cleo, you can see a throw before it opens up, right?
You can see that pressure coming. Like Tom Brady said, when he was looking at the Super Bowl, he knew by their body language
exactly
and the way they were positioned what was coming before it even came. And I think that's where his anticipation, that's where his growth is.
It's seeing coverages too, right? Like we talk all the time about throwing with anticipation. That's like the metrics Leon was talking about. Like, you can see throws come open, right?
Absolutely. Because if they're bringing it from this side, that speed out to the field, I'm taking it.
That's the whole quote-unquote throwing him open, right? When you hear people saying throwing him open, all that.
1, 2, 3, I'm getting it out. I'm not even thinking. I'm just reacting.
All right, I can tell you something. Here's a guy who thinks and never reacts.
Now, the 2-minute drill. Serviced by Cool Cats Heating and Cooling. Locally owned and operated. We're your neighbors. Find the coolest cats in town at coolcatsjacks.com.
All right, Hayes Carline back from Indianapolis in the Combine with the Frangie Show. By the way, we are breaking down how to fix Trevor Lawrence.
He needs it. I hope you came up with some good solutions.
We've got a few.
Yeah.
What do you think
teach
about?
him how to read a defense? Go through progressions?
Yeah, I like it. See, Carline's on our side right
That's
now.
what I would suggest doing.
Are you, so you're all for hard coaching of Trevor Lawrence?
Of course. Yeah, I think Trevor's all for hard coaching. I mean, as long as it's constructive and gets him better, and hopefully Liam Cohen and Trevor Lawrence will be a beautiful partnership that'll last 15 years and be the next Sean Payton, Drew Brees of the NFL. I mean, that's what you have to hope for. But clearly Trevor was way more raw coming out of Clemson than I think any of us believed, any of us knew. And maybe coaches did, but in terms of guys like us,
right,
we just assumed, well, look at the athleticism, look at the frame, look at the arm. He's going to be an instant superstar. And his football instincts just aren't good.
Right.
And they're still not good. But that doesn't mean that can be improved, and that is something that hopefully with this new leadership of Jaguars football, hopefully they will be able to bring that out in him. I still think there's a good starting quarterback in there. I don't think there's an elite starting quarterback in there. I'd be surprised if he jumps to top 3 in the league because it's just such I don't know that quarterback play's ever been better. So for him to get top 3, I don't know that that's ever.
What about the Baker Mayfield jump?
Where would you say Baker Mayfield is in the league?
He's top 10 now, right?
Trevor might be 8, 9, 10. Yeah. I think that would be a realistic hope for.
39 tuds would be nice, I got to tell you.
Yeah. So that would be lovely. Absolutely, we're all for it. So yeah, we'll get into all that coming up on the Frangie Show. We'll also talk some golf. Lee Smith, the executive director of the Players Championship, will join us. We always look forward to that, and we'll talk combine and kind of weekend review and look ahead. So it should be a fun Frangie Show coming up.
Awesome.
Thank you, guys.
All right.
That's Hayes Carlin coming up with Frangie. At 4 o'clock, you got Baloo and Hacker as well on the Superstation, wrapping up your entire week, fellas. I appreciate it. Cleo, thanks for joining us. Great job. You, of course, Mr. Campo, our coach, always a pleasure to see you here and get your breakdown of all things ball and life. We appreciate it. Leon.
What's up?
Thank you, brother. Appreciate it. All right, JJ, great job. Joe, this PJ Tour duties. We'll see you next week. All of us, full show on Monday.